Hello. Last time I was talking about the first part in the February 2018 broadcasting, where it was talking about the more important things and how you better not do too much of the unimportant things, you know. So, this gets even worse because after around minute 14, they do a whole thing on the same topic, but for children. This was so stomach churning. They actually, you can see in the image I'm showing, they did this object lesson with rocks and pebbles and two jars. So, first, they would put all the little rocks representing the fun things they do, the more, unimportant things, like video games, just fun, music, sports, not essential, like a subtle guilt trip about those. In the way they talk, the way they word things. Um, so first they put the little pebbles in the big jar, and then it shows how little time you have for those more important things, the essential things, spiritual activities, meaning watchtower stuff, right? So they take all the little pebbles out and put the big things in first, all that watchtower stuff. Oh, of course, Bible reading is thrown into there also. Um, anyway, so he's the whole time talking to these two young boys, and then when the watchtower things are in there first, then whatever you have time for fun things like games or playing or whatever. This is such an incredible guilt trip on them, and it puts down all those things that kids should really be doing. These two young boys, I'm guessing they were about 8 and 10, when he was also chatting with them. The one older one was using words that a kid would never say, like relaxed setting, diversity. He just seemed so scripted, obviously. Um, then they talked about Caleb Sophia videos, and the speaker asked them, like, what would be some good suggestions? Do you have a suggestion for a new Caleb and Sophia video? And guess what the kid came up with? This whole scenario about birthdays and don't take the treats and all the temptation involved in that when somebody's bringing cupcakes to school, and the speaker praises him and said, I'm sure the governing body will give some thought to your suggestion. um let's see. Yeah, this was just so disturbing because if I've raised kids, and if kids are in school, oftentimes even in grade school, they will oftentimes have homework, even a little bit. So there's that. There's commuting to school for some people takes longer, or well, Jehovah Witness kids probably won't be doing an activity after school, but they need time to have a snack, they need time to wind down. I was looking up how much sleep school age children need, because it is a lot, and I think it is more than most of them get sometimes. But it said 9 to 12 hours, and I kind of agree with that because you can see a big difference in their attitude and energy and behavior when they're not getting enough sleep. So this is just an incredible guilt trip for little kids. And they're just grooming them to do watchtower stuff. And like I said, they throw in Bible reading, but it's just kind of a little hat tip. And let's see. Yeah, and then it was just so cringy when he said at the end, keep up your good work as Kingdom Publishers. And one person in our group, our Facebook group, was talking about this, and because I was wondering, is this part of what makes kids grow up with such a guilt trip over everything? Do you have a guilt or a discomfort when you're not doing watchtower stuff? To me, that seems like what this can lead to. So, one gal in our group said, I totally blame this disgusting man made religion for all the shame and guilt I felt as a child and subsequent extreme shyness and insecurity. Thank God, literally, that the real Jesus takes these things away. Another person in our group is really good at looking up stuff on Meta. And he did that for this talk, and I'll just read some of the stuff it said, because I was asking, it's so contradictory how they kind of acknowledge that you need time for fun and relaxation, of course, but then it's kind of like they're saying the opposite too and making you feel guilty for that after you, and that it's only for after you put all the Watchtower stuff first. But um, as far as that goes, let's see, one of the Meta analyzed it and said, the technique you're describing is called double speak or double talk. It's a propaganda method where a speaker says one thing but conveys the opposite message through tone, context, or subsequent statements. This creates a disconnect between the explicit and implicit messages. In the case of the talk, the speaker acknowledges the importance of fun and relaxation, but then emphasizes the superiority of Watchtower related activities, effectively guilt tripping the audience into prioritizing the latter. This is a classic example of doublespeak. It also talked about other propaganda techniques they were using, lip service, paying superficial homage to a concept, for example, Bible reading, while undermining its significance or importance. Euphemism, using mild or indirect language to conceal the true meaning or intent, saying spiritual activities instead of Watchtower activities, loaded language, using emotionally charged words or phrases to influence the audience's perception. Example, the more important things. These techniques are used to manipulate the audience's perception, create cognitive dissonance, and reinforce the desired narrative or ideology. Just overall, really disturbing, really sad, guilt tripping kids. Uh, it's like they're giving them the same content as they just gave the adults in the previous talk on this broadcasting, and then somehow kind of adjusted it for children. But I just found it really disturbing, really overwhelming on responsibility, duty, and Watchtower works, for kids. And these two young boys, they were very young. Like I said, to me, they looked like they were about 8 and 10. So children should just be able to be children, and playing for them and the things they do, sports and games, are not just a waste of time. They're actually part of their development. And this stuff is way too burdensome for them. I think it's really sad, really disturbing. It was very hard to even watch this one without freaking out. I can't imagine for you all that did grow up with that kind of stuff put on you. So that's about all. Talk to you later.